It's your daily dose of Donna. Oh, hold on. Let me fix my mic. I just realized my mic is not plugged in. Gonna have to fix this. Hold. I just got to the office. Hold on. I literally just got into the office. It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Friday, February 21st. I am so behind schedule. Thank you so much for everyone that is late. I appreciate you guys are running late with me as you guys were following over on Instagram stories. If you don't follow me over at This Is Donna Bowling, I spent my entire morning over at my son's school. I was teaching the sixth graders how to start a podcast. And yes, I was showing them episodes of Daily Dose of Donna, and they are all Team Justin officially. They all think that Blake Lively, this is not a smear campaign. They all think that there are no such thing as bots, and they all say congrats on your little bump. So welcome to everyone that is here on the show. They asked me such incredible questions. Those sixth graders, they were incredible. Seriously, really, what cool kids. Honestly, I have so much to talk about today. I don't even know where to start. But so many of you guys are already here in the live chat, like within 5 seconds. I just absolutely love it. I don't even know, like, you're going to have to walk me through today's show. That's how much is happening. And you know what? While I was teaching, I couldn't even look at my phone. So like I couldn't even scroll the internet. And all of a sudden I'm looking at my phone driving on the which way do I come home? The 405. I'm driving on the 405 saying, what's going on? Oh my God, there's so much happening. Protective order. People are getting threatened. Or in her mind, the Hollywood Reporter has articles. Variety has articles. This is happening. That's happening. And then Diddy. We got a Diddy update. And you know I love a Diddy update, especially when it's a bad one. Plus, we got Baparu, a Southern Charm story. All of that and more on this special, probably gonna be a super size. So everyone, get your vitamins. I got my Groons. I'm starting to take Groons. It's not sponsored, but I'm loving this stuff. Episode of Daily Dose of Donna. First, a personal note. Yesterday was a take a stand day, and I was nervous and I panicked after yesterday's show. And if you watched yesterday's show, you'll know that I kind of went off the deep end. Well, I felt I went off the deep end in the beginning of the show, right? I did. I felt, and I panicked at the end, as we tend to do, right? When we say something and we're like, was it too much? Did my emotions get the best of me? And so I privated the video. Right after I got off the show, I privated the video and I panicked. And I was texting with a couple of the people on my live and I was like, what did I do? Should I make it go private? Oh my God. And they said, well, think about it. This is your show. Decide what you want to do. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. And I put it up there. And guess what happened, you guys? Guess what happened? People came out and supported. And I got so many beautiful, wonderful, incredible messages from people around the world. Emails, text messages, like DMs. I mean, I probably was getting telegrams, like from Sound of Music. Remember telegrams? Was that a thing? Remember Liesel and Rolf? Remember how we used to get telegrams? He turned out to be an asshole, that Rolf. We don't trust Rolf in this house. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And all of a sudden, I was like, wait, we're the good guys. I'm not scared of being a good guy. See, we don't cover our faces. We're the good ones here. We're on the right side of history. So I felt so good about it. And then guess what? My good friend Adam, who I've known since I was 16, and he may be here watching. I told him to come watch. He is very passionate about being Jewish too. And he's a good friend of mine. We have a history. And he and I have been talking about doing this for a long time. And yesterday was the night that we got on the phone. And he and I are going to be starting a separate podcast, which is going to be TBD. We don't know exactly what it's going to be called, but this is a guy and a girl who are Jewish, and we both have such a history, and we're both married with kids, and we are going to be starting our own podcast in addition to Daily Dose of Donna. It's going to be a once a week podcast where it's going to be talking about all kinds of things from a Jewish standpoint. So you won't be getting all of it from this show, okay? It's going to have I'm going to have a platform separate from this, but you're going to get another Daily Dose of Donna in a different place. Oh my God. Maddie, that's a genius idea. Adam, if you're watching, 2 Jews in a pod. That's a freaking genius idea. We are looking for names. I love that idea. We're gonna record it live in Lance's podcast studio. There's my Adam. There's my Adam. Okay, I am so excited. We're gonna have so much fun with it, and that way I have like my release of that. But can I just tell you one more thing before I start my show? Because I have so much to talk about, but I have to say one thing. One of the 6th graders today, because I talked about how I talk about being Jewish on my show. And one of the 6th graders raises her hand and she goes, I know that you talk about being Jewish. What do you ever get hate for being Jewish with all of the anti-Semitism? This is seriously a question that was asked this morning. And I was like, oh my gosh, a moment like this, some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. I swear, I was like, it's for this moment. This is the moment. And I said, you know what? Yes, I get it all the time. I get it so much. I've never gotten hate for anything more in my entire life than being Jewish. And every single time I get hate about being Jewish, guess what it does? It makes me want to be louder. And it makes me want to say it prouder. And it makes me want to be more strong about it. Like, it's weird. It's like the hate is just fuel. And I said it to all the 6th graders and I was like, do you hear that, guys? Because they go to a Jewish school. So everyone there is Jewish. I was like, do you hear that, you guys? You cannot ever, ever hide being Jewish. Never. You have to always be proud of being Jewish. And I was like, I hope I changed some of their lives. So I felt really good about it today. And then I gave them donuts. All right, let's move on. So today we have to go through the Blake Lively stuff. Then we're going to go into Diddy. Then we're going to talk about some other things. Then we're going to talk about Papa Rouge, Southern Charm. Are we ready for it? Let's talk about it. Blake Lively, she's off her rocker. I'm done. Well, I was done a few days ago, but I'm really done with her today. Okay? Blake Lively is seeking a protective order for her people. I don't even know like where to start here. First of all, let's pull up this Variety article, okay? I just can't. I just can't. We will talk about, there's a lot of questions that you guys are asking about the Jenny Slate. Like, for example, Ashley says, but Donna, also the Jenny Slate reveal of her complaint. Did you watch Zach or Steph's video? We need a Jenny episode. We will get there because I want to talk about the Hollywood Reporter. We're going to talk about it all, okay? I want to talk about it all. But seriously, this is wild, all right? Blake Lively received, I'm just going to show you this article and we'll go through it together. According to Variety, it says Blake Lively says she and others have received sexist and threatening messages over Justin Baldoni's suit. Well, yeah. Okay. I am not for any hate messages ever. I am really not. Obviously, I hate the disgusting people online. I am completely anti-hate online. I think it's horrible and absolutely awful. And if I could, filter out all of the hate completely. But this is wild, okay? Because when you're a public person, you have to expect that if you publicly sue someone or put out a complaint in the New York Times, you have to understand that it's going to come back it's going to come back somehow. And you have to remember, she didn't get it right away. It wasn't the fact that she announced that she was suing him or complaining about sexual harassment. That's not when she got any negativity. It wasn't then. She never got the negativity when she complained about the sexual harassment. Not from me. Definitely not from me, and definitely not from any of my audience. No one, I was very much a believer that she had gone through this. My issue was when we started to see some cracks in her story. Whenever you start to see cracks in someone's story, you start to question everything, right? You start to question everything. Adam, if you're still here, I hope you're still watching this live chat because they are killing it with the names. I've got some really creative people in my audience. And thank God that this live chat saves because we're stealing all of your ideas. Okay? So if you're putting in the chat, I hope that you guys are okay with copyright issues. Adam says I'm taking notes. Okay, good. I love that. Blake Lively's attorneys are looking to keep a lid on the release of sensitive personal and financial information in the course of litigation, citing violent and sexist threats she and her supporters have received. Noting that the case involves several high-profile individuals, Lively wants a court order. Now she wants a court order to assure that certain information will remain confidential and will not be posted to social media sites like Snapchat, TikTok, and YouTube. Such information would include compensation information, profitability reports, ownership of companies, creative ideas, film scripts, photos, videos, and health records. In a letter to the court on Thursday night, Lively's lawyer stated that such an order is needed because she and others involved in this case have already been subject to violent, profane, sexist, and threatening communications. Lively's lawyers wrote that one witness who supports her got a message threatening to sexually assault and kill their family after their texts were included in Baldoni's amended lawsuit. Okay, well, let's try to think about who this could be. Their texts were included in Baldoni's amended lawsuit. A witness whose texts were included. Who could that be, you guys? Who could that be? Whose text messages were included in his amended complaint that was a witness for Lively? I just don't understand. Who could it be? The trainer. My Zack Peter from New York is here. Zack, can you StreamYard live? If you can you join? Isabella's texts were included, but those weren't witnesses to Blake. He used Isabella in a positive way. It can't be Isabella. It has to be the trainer. It has to be Dawn. For sure. Send you the link. Amazing. I'm so excited. Zack is going to join us. It definitely has to be the trainer. Okay. So basically, yes, he got a message threatening. Okay. Now the trainer is getting sexually assaulted. The trainer is getting sexually assaulted now, threatening to sexually assault. What could the trainer possibly have gotten and by the way, a random message and a random text message threatening to get, do you know what kind of crazy cuckoo wackadoodle text messages and not text messages, just DMs I have all the time? Like, I can't blame that on, I'm not going to blame that on Blake Lively. That's insane. You have to put these people's information out there. And he didn't put Don Saladino's name out there. He didn't put Don Saladino's name, but we're not idiots. We Google and we search and you can figure it out. You can figure it out. You can figure it out, right? And so obviously if you Google and figure that out, like if you figure out who Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds trainer, and it's not a private thing, by the way. Hold on. I've got Mr. Zack Peter coming in hot from New York. And it looks like, is he in a bathroom? Where are you, Zack?
I'm in my hotel room.
On an iPhone? You're coming at us live on YouTube from an iPhone?
Well, if you had told me about this a little sooner, I could have done it from the Spotify studios. Now I'm back in my hotel room getting ready so I can eat a real meal for the first time.
Are you going to blame Blake Lively for keeping you, depleted?
Well, I don't know, Donna. I'm afraid you might sue me for sexual harassment because I'm FaceTiming you from my hotel room.
You're definitely. This is like I'm in your private space now. No, you're going to
I
sue
know.
me because I'm looking at you in a
I feel
private room.
violated. I feel violated.
What in the world? I'm so glad you're here because I've been off my phone all morning. So you need to keep me up to date with what's going on.
Did you
right
see
now.
Jenny Slate's latest allegation or her latest HR complaint?
Well, it's what was written about in the Hollywood Reporter, which you sent me this morning, which we're getting to. But first, I want to finish talking about Blake Lively in the Variety
And the
article.
trainer.
Yeah, so it's about the trainer. It's got to be that he was sexually assaulted. He was threatened to be sexually assaulted in his text messages. So that's why she's upset. What in the
Dumb.
world? She said that she has also been subject to pornographic trolling on Instagram. The bots.
Again with the corn on the cob pornographic.
Oh my God, this is so insane. So remember how Blake Lively was tagged in her tagged photos, which we said, what kind of celebrity who has 45 million followers on her Instagram doesn't have a social media team that is checking to make sure that her tagged photos aren't just being able to be tagged by whoever? That was her team's doing. Sorry.
But also, like, nobody, like, these are not, I just don't understand why she even is trying to bring in these comments. Like, what do these comments have any relevance to? Like, you really think Justin Baldoni was accused of this smear campaign? Now it's called a retaliation campaign. She's rephrased it. Now it's a retaliation campaign. And he's still continuing this to this day?
I don't even think she's blaming this on him. She's just basically saying, like, she needs to protect her and her high-level people.
Oh, yeah, because everyone, yeah. Well, listen, she did this. Like, there's going to be a reaction from the public. And this is the reaction from the public. Unfortunately, they're sniffing through her BS.
Well, see, this is the problem, is that when you are putting, I wonder if I should go closer up. Is that better?
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Now I'm literally in your face. This is the problem, is that when you start, okay, remember what we called her, which is going to sound really inflammatory considering we just suffered through the LA fires here in Los Angeles. We called her an arsonist because she started a major fire and then she's running away.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh my God, look at the danger. Look at the tragedy that has been caused. But you started the fire.
Yeah.
You can't start the fire and then all of a sudden be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why is there so much damage?
Yeah. And she's like, oh my God, everybody's getting affected by this because you dragged everybody into this. You know, she's pulling people in. Like, this is tarnishing Isabella, Jenny, like every single person is being dragged into this and she's blaming it on Baldoni. But it's like, you didn't just say, hey, I was harassed by Baldoni. You named all these other people. You referenced, you even in her latest filing, she referenced Isabella and Jenny, and it seems like she's dragging everybody in against their will. Nobody wants to be aligned with her, and she's like, if I'm going down, I'm not going down alone.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't bring up the trainer and the fat shaming and all of that and have, like, literally Don Saladino, this trainer, was publicizing Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively as his, like, star clients. This is not a hard find for anyone. It's like, it wasn't like this was a confidential situation that they were working together. KLBG says, what about the risk she put Sarowitz in for violently trolling by including his alleged statement publicly? This was absolutely horrible. And as someone that is, obviously this is a very sensitive issue, I couldn't believe, thank you for that, I can't believe how in the world she did that. Well, I say she because she and he, the fact that they put such an inflammatory statement, it's so irresponsible.
Without any source. It was an anonymous source. Like,
unnamed witness.
For all we know, it may not, but also it was a very clear media manipulation tactic to align her in that way, right? She wanted the headlines. She wanted to be aligned that way. She was pandering to a very specific audience. I just finished a collab with Dave Neal I did his show and he did my show, both of which will air this weekend. But he was even saying that, like we were discussing this, and she's pandering to a very specific audience. And if anything, he had a really interesting point that he made. That he was saying maybe this is meant to be a tactic to rip apart the Justin Baldoni supporters, because this is such a divisive issue right now, depending on what side of the fence you're on, whether you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. You're gonna now feel torn if you're on Team Baldoni, depending on how you view that statement. And he thinks that it was potentially by design.
Well, and they were trying to honestly get like a Candace Owens to be thrown. Because that's why that's the truth. And I don't even want to go into that statement because that's obviously a very strong like issue for me. But it works with like people on Reddit and those kinds of like that kind of thinking. And it's also so inflammatory and probably very offensive for someone like Steve Sarowitz, who's I just read in the comments, and I believe that, Sarowitz he was named after someone who died in the Holocaust. Like, this is a serious issue for someone and his reputation. And also this could cause like hate crime. It's horrible. Yeah. It's horrible. I would be livid. If I were Sarowitz, I would truly start a separate lawsuit for defamation just on that one statement. It's disgusting. Yeah. Okay, next.
Well, he can't sue her for that because she has oh God, what is it? The protection. I can't think of the term right now off the top of my head, but it's a protection that you have.
A condom?
Yeah, it's basically a Trojan condom that prevents you from being sued for defamation if you make an allegation in a lawsuit. You have litigation privilege is what it's called. Litigation privilege. So I could sue you and say Donna has an STD and put that in a lawsuit, and you can't sue me for defamation whether it's true or false because I put it in the lawsuit.
Oh, hold on. Look at this. Brian wants to go on a double date with you and him and Lance and I.
Zach wanna go to
LA? What's ravel?
What? Ravel?
We're gonna go to the
for
LA
Ravel.
film?
I don't know what Ravel is. What is Ravel?
I don't know, but let's do it.
Wait, this isn't the first time that you and I have been invited to the LA Phil before.
Oh, I know, but this is a much better proposition.
I agree.
Wait, okay, Brian. I mean, I don't have to date you, and Zach will, so I'm married. Let's do it. Okay, but this is sexual harassment.
Yes.
Stop harassing us, Brian, but okay. I love this. Let's move on. It's a composer, Juju Piano says. Okay.
Oh.
Thank you. All right, let's go on. So Lively and Baldoni, obviously they're suing each other, but still it's really insane that this is now happening, because what about Justin and his team, who have been completely exposed? All of their text messages have been exposed, and Blake is now going on with this complete insane subpoena order, which I heard was being put the kibosh on the other night. This 2.5 year subpoena of every single whatever it's called, phone record. It's just like you can't ask for something from one side and then like say it's not what works for them doesn't work for me. She's just worried about like her big league Taylor Swift's stuff getting exposed. But you know what can you do?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to this Hollywood Reporter article that came out. So this came out this morning. You and I were texting it to each other, but I didn't finish reading it. Looks like you fully, because I didn't
read
have
the whole thing.
You fully read it, so give us the scoop.
I mean, people might not like my opinion on this, but I think that this was a PR planted story from Baldoni's team.
Why do you think?
Because it's about his, what is it, Baha'i? It's about his Baha'i.
Baha'i after this.
Actually, now that Dave Neal was enlightening me about the Baha'i religion or whatever it is, and I was like, wow, this seems like they just seem very, I don't know. I don't know much about it.
Like a really good
Yeah,
people.
They just seem like they're in pursuit of being really good people. But anyway, so the Baha'i religion, so that's basically what the article was about his religion, and was about how, I guess, people that are of this faith, they're very, in tune emotionally, and they're very intimate, and they hug. And so they're saying maybe there was just a cultural difference where the Baha'i faith, people of the Baha'i faith, like Sorowitz and like Justin Baldoni, and there were, I guess, even rumors that even Colleen Hoover may have been, I don't think that's been proven, but she may have been of the Baha'i faith, and that's possibly how she or why she granted him the rights to the film. But so basically, it's about how they're just very in touch with their emotions, and they can be very, connected with you even physically. And so I guess in certain meetings they would like try to get you to open up and be vulnerable, and how some people can read that as very uncomfortable of you being vulnerable, because we've heard like him opening up about his porn addiction and opening up about her father. That was also a reference to the Baha'i and the context in which he brought her father up. Um, and so how it may have just been some of his behavior may be in line with his values that are rooted in his faith, that may have been misread by Blake Lively and other people, where what they found as uncomfortable, his level of vulnerability, and even with his voice note, right? The way he was speaking to her and the tone in which he was speaking to her, like they're very passive people and they try to come at things very compassionately, but people can misread that and they're thinking maybe Blake Lively and other people misread that because Hollywood is so stuck and we don't open up and we don't share our emotions and we're on set and we're in a corporate or a film set environment where you don't do stuff like that, and it's inappropriate because you have to have boundaries in the workplace. And so that's basically the premise of the article.
Why is that very pro Blake? That sounds actually like a
No,
very
I said it's pro. Oh, did I not? Did I maybe I misspoke. It's pro Justin. I think his team.
You did, but actually people in the comments are saying I found the article to be a Ari planted pro Blake article.
No, I thought it was a very pro Justin article from my interpretation of it, because then you also get the Jenny Slate, which was a weird revelation, but we get her HR complaint to Sony, and that was about Jamie Heath. And it's the most preposterous HR complaint I've ever heard
So
in this
let's
entire
talk about
case.
this, because you did send me the screenshot of that part of the article. So we have been wondering about this apartment situation. In her original complaint, she included these text messages between Melissa Nathan, his PR people, Jen Abel and Melissa Nathan, that were referencing some sort of HR complaint between Jamie Heath, the producer that's also being sued, and an apartment, someone at an apartment. We thought it was the AD that was fired. That was kind of like everyone's thought. And Jamie Heath, but like no one actually knew what it was. No one was actually 100% sure. Somehow we figured out or just from this article, we figured out that it's actually about Jenny Slate. So what is this whole apartment complaint, according to this article?
You're asking me?
Yeah, talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
You covered it already on your
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes. So basically, because it ends with us, filmed in Jersey and New York. So she rented an apartment in New York, and
I'm going to go through all the super chats in a second, you guys. Thank you so much for sending them, but I will promise I will go through them in just a second. Go ahead.
So for whatever reason, she was displeased with this apartment, because I guess it was also where her toddler, was going to be living as well. And so she was displeased with this apartment. And the issue was she couldn't just find a new apartment because she had dropped a $15,000 security deposit. And if she were to break her lease, she would have to lose that $15,000 security deposit, which also, this must have been a really expensive apartment if the security deposit that you're renting is $15,000.
Well, isn't it security deposit first and last? It's usually a first and last, so it's double the rent. So it was probably a $7,500 a month.
Which is still pretty,
New
steep.
York?
I mean,
is it New York or Jersey? Where were they?
It was New York.
Okay.
But I mean, it's still a relatively nice place if you're paying $7,500.
People are having an issue with your wall.
I have an issue with it too. It's gross. I don't like the whole hotel has this holy design that's not my favorite vibe. But anyway,
it's gonna like the people that have issue with holes. What's that phobia?
Oh, don't reference it because then people are gonna remember it.
Sorry.
So anyway, she pays $15,000 and she's afraid of losing $15,000. And so Jamie Heath comes in and he's like, listen, Wayfair will cover it. That way you're comfortable. We want you, you're a mom, you have a kid. We want to make sure that you're comfortable. And so I guess in his phrasing with how he offers.
Wait, Holly just said I have to cover Zack with a paper towel, and then he just went black. Oh my God, where'd he go? Oh my God, where did he go? CF says, Donna, stop interrupting him. You guys, everyone, Zack, people really are freaking out over your wall, and then you literally went black.
Oh my God.
Wait, is there not another background? I think it's actually freaking people out.
Okay. Is this better?
Better.
Okay. The lighting
Now I
isn't
will
as
not
great.
interrupt you anymore. I promise, for all the people that hate me.
Okay, so 15,000 doesn't want to lose her money. Jamie Heath offers to cover it, and I guess it was something in his phrasing, in the way he said it, and the way he referenced the sanctity of motherhood that made her uncomfortable. And so, because she was uncomfortable with him bringing up the sanctity of motherhood, that is why she ended up filing an HR complaint with Sony, which tells me Sony is the one that was getting reports, and Sony is the one that was responsible for addressing these reports if Jenny is filing this complaint with Sony.
What is the sanctity of motherhood? Please explain that to me.
I don't know. What does
No,
that mean?
seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not asking this about like trying to be rude. What does that mean? Honestly, I have to Google what sanctity of motherhood would mean. I don't understand. Sanctity. How do you spell sanctity? Sanctity of motherhood. Sanctity of motherhood is a concept that appears in Christianity, Hinduism, and Russian culture. It can refer to the idea that motherhood is a sacred calling, a way to grow in faith, a way to honor woman. How would that affect the sacredness of motherhood?
Well, I guess, because, some people get bothered when, like, Christians bring up Jesus and they're like, that your talk about, I don't believe in Jesus. Your talk about Jesus makes me uncomfortable. I can see it being that, where she's like, don't talk to me about your faith. I don't care about the sanctity of motherhood. I don't believe in your faith. Don't try to convert me into your Scientology, is how I'm reading it.
Oh, whoa. That is so wild. So she was feeling threatened about his religion. She was feeling threatened by his religion. This is what you're saying.
That's kind of the interpretation, because the article was about religion, right? It was about their faith. And so, I don't know if they refer to it as a religion, but their faith. The article was
I
about their
kind of
faith, and then
okay.
this was referenced in there. So I'm assuming that's the connection based off of what was revealed.
Do you guys also feel that way? Or was it maybe more of like she was just kind of feeling offended by the fact that he was being nice and
She
feeling
seems
like he
like,
was taking away from the fact that that she almost couldn't do enough as a
or
mother?
yeah, maybe it's like, oh, he opened the door for me, and that's sexist because women can open their own
Because I
doors
can
now.
do enough.
Yeah.
Am I being scattered, rude, and emotional to you? Robert thinks I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna sue you.
Robert, that is so sexist. Why am I
Why do
being
people get
emotional?
mad at you for that? They're always like, I don't know. People are so weird.
They want me to be like Jenny Slate. I guess
Karen.
you're actually ruining my sanctity of podcasterhood.
Am I?
I think that the truth is, from what I read when you sent me that screenshot, I did not get the Baha'i, like she's trying to take away the religion. What I read in that, but maybe I took it really wrong. It was more so that I felt like he was not trusting her as being a strong enough mother. You know what I mean? That he was like
Maybe.
feeling like she wasn't able to do it on her own.
Yeah.
So
Opening
he
the door
needed to
for a woman. Yeah.
You're interrupting me. You're being really scattered and emotional right now, Zack. Stop interrupting me. This is crazy. I'm going to read it out loud and you guys tell me what you think, okay? It wasn't just Baldoni who ran into issues when interacting with cast members. The Hollywood Reporter has learned more about the nature of the complaint. So it also matters, I guess, who told the Hollywood Reporter this. This is important.
I think it was Baldoni's team,
Well, we
because
don't know.
the article really, well, just based off of, I read it. Believe gay men, Donna. Don't be homophobic. Um, the way that I read the article, it felt very pro Baha'i, and so I think it was, and the argument that was being presented in the article, how I read it, was they were trying to say that people misread Baldoni and Heath and Sorowitz's behavior because it was in line with the Baha'i faith, and they're like, it was kind of defending how people behave when they align with those values, and how it can be misread by people that are not of that faith.
Except for the fact, and let me finish reading the complaint, because people are saying in the comments that Ari Emanuel does own the Hollywood Reporter in a strange roundabout way, which would go
Yes.
against your idea that
Yeah.
this is coming from Baldoni's camp.
Yeah.
That would be
It would.
weird. Now, let me finish reading this. It says, the Hollywood Reporter has learned more about the nature of the complaint, that it ends with us actress Jenny Slate lodged, which is referenced in court documents, but with Slate's name redacted. It stemmed from an interaction with Heath about the apartment Slate had rented in New York City, where it was shooting. Slate, who has a toddler, told him she wasn't thrilled with the space she had rented, but that moving was not an option because she didn't want to lose the sizable security deposit around $15,000. Heath informed Slate that Wayfarer would reimburse her for the lost security deposit so she could find better accommodations. But apparently he made the offer using language that made Slate so uncomfortable. Sources say he focused so intensely on the sanctity of motherhood and Slate's role as a mother that she filed a complaint to the film's distributor, Sony, about the incident. A spokesperson for Slate did not return multiple requests for comment. When I read this, I literally just thought of one thing and one thing only: a snowflake.
People have said that it's giving snowflake energy.
It's wild. I am sorry. There are bigger things in the world. Unless he said, you are the worst mother in the entire world. What kind of a horrible shit mother are you that you can't handle this on your own, that you're not making this apartment work? What the fuck is wrong? Which is obviously not something that he would have done. It doesn't sound like it at all. It sounds like he's trying to just help her, but maybe I'm wrong. It does absolutely not track. Something is missing here. Unless, if this is all it was, then something is going on. But I could be wrong, obviously. We don't have all the information.
Yeah, we don't have all the. We should ask our friend on Instagram.
Don't say it. You can say it, but I can't say it.
I'm not.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You want to?
No.
Okay. So it says, according to the source, Heath has a different understanding of their interaction. He told People that even when Wayfarer offered a kind gesture, it was weaponized against them. I truly believe this was the theme of production. Anytime they were being kind, it was not enough. And just like we read in the updated complaint, that every single time they wrote letters, even in Blake's complaint, it said this: Justin Baldoni wrote a long apology letter to the actor. I don't know if it was Blake, Jenny, or someone else. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Even a long apology letter was not enough. This is insanity. In what world?
Truly.
I've never had producers and directors like beg for forgiveness like this. It's
why
really
would they?
crazy.
Yeah. Why would they need to, I don't know. It's so crazy to me how much. I mean, it sounds like Jenny Slate was also a nightmare to work with on set too. Like, could you imagine? I mean, if what it is Blake probably set the precedent, and Jenny probably just followed suit.
Oh, these guys are like, they're just like so all over. You can walk right over them. They're clearly not professional. They're amateurs. Wayfarer doesn't know what they're doing. Oh my gosh, they're so annoying. They're, running a bad set. I don't like them. I'm feeling like probably on her. I have a feeling this woman was on the phone with her manager and her agent 400 times a day.
Yeah.
She was one of those. We know those people. When I was an agent, I remember those actors that would call over the slightest things, like temperature problems in their trailer, like issues over every little issue. And I want to talk to people that have worked with Jenny Slate on previous projects. I want to talk to like casting directors who have worked with her or auditioned her before. I want to know anyone that has worked with her before. If you are watching the show or listening, please DM me. Let's find out what kind of a
Oh
person
yeah.
she was.
Now we need Jenny Slate stories. Wait, have you heard the theory about why there was an attorney on Instagram, and I hate that I'm forgetting her Instagram handle, but she was saying that she thinks that Blake Lively intentionally did not file HR complaints because she didn't want the complaints to be investigated. Because once you file an HR complaint, there has to be a full investigation done. And so the theory is that she didn't want them to investigate it because if they investigated it, then they would dispute her claims. And that's why she didn't actually file. She may have just threatened to, or may have just brought up concerns without actually. Because if you open up an HR complaint and you get both sides of the story, and then there's an investigation, and then they come to the finding or the finding or the result could not be in her favor. So she could still weaponize the allegations without having to actually have an investigation done that could have disputed the allegations.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. It's absolutely like just when you think it can't get worse, it gets worse. So I don't see how this works in Blake's favor at all because if anything, it just shows that Blake is so unable. Actually, if anything, it shows intolerance on Blake's part or
Yeah.
inability to like look beyond her own little bubble to
Yeah.
see like maybe they're just not like us. Like where's Kendrick Lamar? Speaking of, we got a
They
lot
not
of
like us.
super chats earlier, including ones from someone that said, where was it about Kendrick Lamar? Oh, from Chloe that said, this is so similar to the Drake Kendrick beef. Drake started the fight and then got mad how Kendrick retaliated. Don't get upset when you punch someone and the person responds with a knife, metaphorically.
Mhm.
Yeah. She started it with Justin. Justin would have gone on his own merry way. There wouldn't have been a second movie, but he would have
Mhm.
gone on his own way. And Blake would have gone on her way, but she had to do this. And now she's pissed.
I don't understand. You know, it's funny. My new bestie, Dave Neal, I'm gonna replace you with him,
Excuse me?
because I don't believe women. But no,
Wow. And you guys call me scattered and emotional and rude? Keep going.
what I brought it up. Now I forgot the point that I was trying to make.
Oh,
But there was
well, it
something
looks
that
like you
he
have problems with
there
scatterness.
was something. Well, I've been traveling. There was something that we were that. Oh God, it was a good point that I wanted to bring up because he made it, and it was very smart. And now my brain is
It was
tired.
about punching and not getting like not expecting these results, like try starting it and not expecting this back.
Yes, but what was the point? Something about she started this and wasn't expecting it to go. Oh, that he did an episode trying to get into her psyche, and I guess he had like a therapist or a psychiatrist. He had somebody on, and he's like, I want to understand, like, does she really believe this? And then it just kind of got like, was she manipulated by her team? Because we have the text messages where the emoji's missing. Like, was it possible that Stephanie Jones presented these messages this way that lacked the emoji, and she, cherry picked these messages because Stephanie Jones has her own vendetta against Jennifer Abel and Wayfair for leaving her and for moving on without her company? Is it possible that the way she presented this to Blake and her team was like there was this smear campaign, and that's why they launched this thing? And it wasn't until it blew up and everybody started picking it apart that then they realized, oh, it's not what Blake believed that it was initially in regards to the smear campaign.
It's
Like maybe
very
she
possible.
really believed in the smear campaign, and now she just looks like an idiot and she can't back down now.
100%. 100%. I
I
mean,
don't
it's
think she
all
has a
possible. I
case.
think everything went it just it completely spiraled out of her control. Out
Yeah.
of her control. Summary says the racism Jamie has experienced with these women. Blake said he looked her in the eye. Now Jenny Slate. Blake leaked it to put target on Jenny. The Hollywood Reporter is owned by Arian William Morris. I think Blake wants to settle. Oh, you think it's racism with Jamie Heath because Jamie Heath is black? I mean, look,
Oh,
anyone,
that's an interesting point. I
yeah,
didn't think of it
anyone
from
can
that
say
angle.
anything now. It's true.
Yeah,
Like Jamie can totally go there.
it's all fair game at this point.
Yeah. Why doesn't Jamie say that? This feels like a racist attack. Why? Because I'm black. I couldn't be in your trailer and look at you in the eye.
Yeah.
Why
You
not?
were afraid. Yeah, you were afraid of a black man on
Are you
set.
scared of me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, fight dirty.
Or you didn't want my money, you didn't want my 15,000. Is that because you don't think that I can afford those types of funds? What does that say about what my bank account has?
Totally. Why not?
The same way Garcelle did it with Kyle. Remember when Kyle's like, you didn't pay the charity bill that you said that you were going to pay? And she was like, whoa, now you're trying to say that Black people don't pay their bills.
Or when, yeah. Interesting. Not everyone is mature enough and has done enough healing to be accepting of vulnerability, especially coming from a man, Saba says. Saba, that's how you say grandpa in Hebrew. That's what I used to call my grandpa, Saba. I love that.
Look at now you're going to have the entire internet calling Jenny Slate racist.
No, I didn't say it. Summaries said it. But I will say, the vulnerability from Jamie and from Justin and even Steve Sarowitz, it's like unlike any vulnerability that we've ever seen. And this kind of article is showing this. It's like people are uncomfortable with their vulnerability. Like there's even a clip in this, there's even a clip in the article that says about Cafe Gratitude, which by the way, if you know Cafe Gratitude, is it still here in LA? There used to be a bunch of them.
What did they say? What is this Cafe fucking Gratitude? Because they were asking them to share something. What was like a win of the week at the meeting?
Yeah, and it says when Baldoni and Wayfair executives hold meetings, they often start by asking participants to go around the table and share something private, something that brings them joy and has nothing to do with their jobs or their career. In certain professional circles, like say those of yoga instructors and doulas, this type of icebreaker might be welcomed. But among time-crunched agents, entertainment lawyers, and studio executives, folks not exactly known for their touchy-feely ways, a gesture of this nature comes with risks. It says a female executive who sat down with Wayfair executives last year, who doesn't work with them, said, in my head, I was like, I'm sorry, are we at Cafe fucking Gratitude? Which is like a vegan restaurant, really good actually, where you can only get like cashew cheese
and
sauce.
Tofu, yeah.
And tofu and sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Okay, so let me go through just a couple more of these and then we can talk about something else. It honestly seems like these women are fishing for reasons to feel uncomfortable, Mariah says. I 100% agree. Katie says, what about the part in her amended complaint that talks about Wayfair hiring a third party to investigate HR complaints after the lawsuits were filed? I haven't heard anyone talk about that.
Yes. So that's a really good point about there was another. I was reading theories on X, and I hate that I don't get to remember the account, so I can't credit them. But there was another person that was saying that when it came to the investigations, that it's very likely that also we didn't have claims of sexual harassment until the lawsuit actually came out. So that's why Wayfair waited until the lawsuit came out to launch a third-party investigation. That they didn't do this during production because they were unaware that Blake Lively felt like she was being sexually harassed. We had allegations of fat shaming. We had her no more list where there were things where she was like, no more of this or no more of that. And they were like, but I don't know why she's saying no more, because these things never happened to begin with, because none of the intimate films were ever or none of the intimate scenes were filmed prior to phase 2 of production, which was post strikes. So it could very likely be that the reason they didn't have an investigation done at the time is because they were not aware that Blake felt this way during production.
Yep. No, they didn't. She didn't say sexual harassment. She never did.
No, not until she filed her complaint. That's why there was no investigation into these harassment.
Yeah, she just said that she was feeling maybe like she wasn't happy with certain things on set. She was actually just like being a difficult actress, which by the way, and I don't want to say difficult actress. This happens all the time on sets. Yeah. Like there's always someone on set that's complaining about certain things. That's not different. Zack and Donna are the besties we all need in this world, Rose says. Rose, mwah, love to you. And then finally, the last one here is Enrique. My guy Enrique. Enrique, by the way, tried to fat shame. Who did he try to fat shame yesterday? Was it Blake? I love Enrique so much. I'm joking. It's an inside joke. I love how you guys try to rationalize this. Maybe we need to start accepting that there are people in Hollywood who aren't right in the head and they just happen to be famous. This is insane, LOL. That, my friend, is the right way to look at this, I think. Honestly. Yes. It is really, really true. It's really crazy. It's like, it really feels like we are trying. Well, I guess until thank you, Enrique. And thank you, H. Salem. I think until we actually can figure out like why and where this is coming from and like what the final result will be, it's like it's just now it feels like a pest, like a mosquito. It's like, ugh,
Yeah.
itch. It's like annoying. It's
Yeah.
annoying. Is there any other news in the Blake Lively camp today?
I think that article is the biggest thing. And the protection order, but
Yeah, I specialize in narcissistic abuse. This is what I see in this case: idealizing, devaluing, and then discarding of Justin. Saba, the origin is from the land of Sheba. That's how it's said in Farsi. Well, Saba, I'm going to tell you something right now. Man tadig bachoresh dustaram. Kheli dusetaram. I can speak Farsi.
oh.
Are you proud of me? Do you know what I just said?
Well, now I feel uncomfortable because you're pushing your religion, your faith onto me.
I'm pushing my sanctity of motherhood on you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm going to leave you before you go. I'm going to tell you that Fast Finance with Jennifer thinks you're cute and she
thank
loves you.
Thank you. Follow me.
Everyone
Wait.
follows that. Wait, yeah. Tell us something good.
Okay. Well, one, Dave Neal said, and this is how he said he broke 100,000 subscribers on YouTube recently, is he told everybody, if we can get our channel, so this is my channel and your channel, because he did it on his channel. Okay, guys, listen. Well, actually, I don't know, because you're a mom, and I'm going to offend your sanctity of motherhood. But he said that if we can get our channels to 100,000, we can go, then we will fly to New York.
Okay.
Or what? And we'll cover the trial when it actually breaks down. He said we can get a content creator house, and we can all go into the content creator house, and we will cover Blake and Baldoni the trial when it actually goes down next March. But the ticket in is 100,000 subscribers.
Oh my God! Let's do it.
That's the mission, guys.
So that
put
means
us
you
in
guys
the Reddit.
all have to subscribe.
And put us in the Reddits. Well, this is your channel, but they have to also go and subscribe to my channel.
Well, I have to put you in the show notes right when I'm done. I'll put your channel in my show notes. You guys, Zack Peter, what is your channel? Someone put Zack Peter's link in the comments, and I'll put it up on the screen.
Or
so
you can just
make
type
sure to
Zack Peter
subscribe.
in the search.
Wait, what do you mean? Put it in the red? Like put our channel in.
Well, apparently there. You know, there are all these mean Reddit posts about you and I. Apparently, there are all these Reddit.
They're all about me.
I get
now they're about you. Too.
Yeah, they're totally about me. But apparently there are Reddit posts about Blake and Baldoni. Like there are all these threads.
No, I've seen them. That it ends with lawsuits. Yeah.
So it's about just spreading the word about us.
I've definitely gone on the Reddit pages about the lawsuits because they post the updated court documents.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So go. Oh, Dames Who Dish is here.
Dames Who Dish.
I love Dames Who Dish.
Whoa,
okay,
whoa.
so earthquake in Vancouver. Look, Dragonfly and Nancy Drew both just said there's an earthquake. How many? Is it big? Are you guys okay? Well, I mean, you're still chatting with us, so hopefully you're okay. Okay, here's Zach's YouTube. You guys, please go and what's it called? Subscribe to both of us.
I will absolutely go to New York, and I love this content creator house hub idea. I'm absolutely going to go to New York. I'm going to bring Marco, my cameraman, with me. Donna, you need to come to New York for the trial. My cameraman.
I'll bring Lance, my cameraman.
Oh, Lance is your cameraman.
Yeah.
Camera Lance. Isn't that his Instagram?
It's totally. Do you want to stick with me? Can we talk about Diddy for 5?
Yes, and then I have to go.
Yes, just for 5 minutes, just because I just wanted to cover this. Oh,
because there was, I saw that news this morning.
So, Camera Lance, that's Lance. Don't get mad at me, guys. Lance Bowling. Wait, what?
You're scattered and all over the place. Wow, look at those buff arms.
I work out. Okay, so Diddy. Let's get into Diddy. Diddy is donezo with his lawyers. Did you see this article?
Mm-hmm. They dumped him.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
Well, I mean, I have a feeling. Because how can you defend Diddy at this point? How in the world can you continue to defend an ass like Diddy? So Diddy, of course, is like the most guilty man in the history of all things. I I don't think we have an idea of how many people have sued Diddy. Do you have an idea?
So many.
Who has sued Diddy? Who has more lawsuits against him? Diddy or Blake Lively's lies? Which one has more?
Diddy.
Diddy definitely, right? I would say Diddy is I think like hundreds.
Yeah.
So his lawyers apparently decided that he is done. He's like, I cannot, under no circumstances can I continue. His name is Anthony Rico, and he filed a motion to withdraw as one of his 6 defense attorneys without explanation. He said that he basically has to walk out. He says, I cannot effectively serve as counsel. It's respectfully but regrettably requested that the court grant the relief requested. So do you think that he's leaving for another reason other than the fact that maybe he has a soul? Do you think that there's like a personal reason, or do you think that he's fighting with the other attorneys? What do you think?
I think he probably sees that this is a losing case and he's going to go down like Elaine, who represented Amber Heard, if he takes it all the way through.
But there's 6 attorneys that are representing Diddy. So why is just one leaving?
I think he really is like, I cannot in good faith be part of this anymore.
So we're trusting that this guy is the only one out of all 6 of them that has a heart.
Well, because think about it. Most of these attorneys don't take on these cases if, they know that the bad press is going to come. They know that, like, they can see, that this could blow up in their face. And I just think, I don't know.
Interesting. So
Maybe he doesn't like the tactics of the other attorneys. I don't know.
I mean, he's worked on high profile cases. He's worked on the World Trade bombing conspiracy case. He's worked on like bin Laden cases. He's worked on like really big cases, but this is the one that he was like, I can't do. I mean, seriously, according to BBC, more than 24 lawsuits. I would say way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more than that. Okay, so that being said, I would say that Maria says, enjoy both of you, subscribed. Going back to Blake, I feel like Blake was postpartum and not well. She saw things as attacks when nothing was there. Normal people can discuss things like equal. She's now in a hole she can't get out of. She's in your wall.
Yeah.
She's a hole.
Right
She's
there.
a hole in your wall.
Yep. No, this is all the hole. So this is how this wall came about. It's all the holes that I found in her complaint. All the holes in Blake Lively's complaint are right here.
You guys, how can you not love Zack? Truthfully, and I promise you, I like him. I know that you all want to think I don't like this man.
Why don't you like me?
This man.
Why
I
don't you
love
like
him.
me?
We love each other. I mean, I think you
They
like me
think
back.
I know. I love you back. I don't know why the internet keeps saying we secretly hate each other.
They just want to see us fight.
Yeah.
Zack and we have got some good things up our sleeves. Just you wait.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, what's on your docket for the rest of the day before I get into Southern Charm?
Well, one, we need to have a follow-up conversation after yesterday because you got the ball rolling, and now I've been making things happen.
Okay.
And so call me when you're done.
Okay.
But I'm gonna eat dinner.
Oh, it's dinner time.
Well, it's 4:30.
It's 4:30, Grandpa.
I haven't. Well, the last thing I ate was an omelet for breakfast. And now it's 4:30. And I'm gonna see Erica Jane on Broadway tonight in Chicago. I'm gonna go support her.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited for you. Go enjoy yourself, and I'll call you when I'm done.
Okay.
Go subscribe to Zack so we can get ourselves to New York.
New York, and here are all Blake Lively's holes.
That sounds sexual.
Sexual harassment. Sorry.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys. So we have to talk about Southern Charm. Southern Charm was good last night. Did anyone else watch? Are you guys Southern Charm fans? Oh my God. If you only knew how sweaty I got for Shep watching Southern Charm last night. Holy moly. Shep and his Text messaging. Can I just tell you, get yourself friends before you send text messages like Shep in that moment. Oh my God. Whoa. Can I read to you the text message that Shep sent a girl who faked a stomach ache and went home the night before? I'm going to read it to you and then I'll explain to you more about it. You guys, this is not a normal situation. Not only did he write this text message at like 7 a.m. after a full night of drinking and his girl that he was dating, well, it's a whole long story. He wrote it at like 7 a.m., let her leave. Like he wrote it uh early in the morning. Then he woke up Austin. He was still like so out of it, read it to him. And then when he woke up Craig a little later, read it out loud again. And she never responded. This is a text. This is the shit this is like why Blake Lively needed friends to never send text messages like this. Are you guys ready? Good morning, Sienna. This is a girl that is not into him. He flew all. Ooh, okay, good. I'm seeing your breaking news stuff in the comments. I am going to go look for it later. Thank you, Brigitte. I appreciate it. I don't want to cut into this with that, but I'm going to go look. I appreciate it. I'm going to look. I hope. Okay. Good morning, Sienna. Listen, I love seeing you and no one else. No one. But I'm not going to try to convince someone they love me for 3 days, especially when I know deep down they do. Here's hoping you understand my feelings and exalt them. I just don't feel this way ever. I know that you agree and feel a lot of what I do because I've heard it from your perfect little freckled lips. And those around us can say and think what they will, but we will have the last laugh and we'll have love, laughter, and everything that matters. Okay, my TED Talk is over. Excuse me while I fall off my chair in embarrassment. Oh my goodness. I can't. Beyond embarrassing. Beyond embarrassing. I cannot handle it. It was so bad. This is a guy that traveled all the way to Nassau, Bahamas with all the cast. This was clearly a produced like trip, right? To meet up with a girl that he had a relationship with in his brain. But the problem was she was not aware of it. This girl was using him to be on a TV show. Okay. I don't know. In what world are you in a relationship with a guy that has no idea? I mean, with a girl that has no idea she's in a relationship. I can't tell if it was Shep's problem or her fault or whose fault, but there was a miscommunication issue. There was an issue. There's an issue, right? Bliss says, Shep is in a Delulu land. I know you love me. I know you love me. He kept saying, I know she wants me. I just know it. I just felt it. She definitely likes me. I know it's in there. I know it's in there, he kept saying. Where? Guys, where? Where is it? I still can't find it, just like I still can't find the sexual harassment in Blake's lawsuit. It's wild. So they go to Bahamas. We're already in the second episode that they're there. And now finally Sienna's there and they meet up. And Sienna obviously doesn't want really anything to do with Shep. And he gets dressed and she wants to leave the room while he gets dressed. They haven't even kissed on the lips. She's like, hey, when she sees him. And he sits down with her and he's like, we need to talk. I'm in love with you. And she's like, good to know. Thanks. They go to dinner and Austin's like, so Shep, how'd it go? Like this or like this or like this? And Shep's like this? Where are you, Shep? Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. This was a man that when we first started watching Southern Charm, he was like the man. I don't know what we were thinking, but if you go back to Southern Charm season 1, 2, 3, Shep was like the good guy, like not the good guy, but like he was the player, right? Like Shep was like the guy. What happened? Where did our shepherd go? He's a loser. And I feel bad for him. I really do feel bad for him. It's wild. So They go, and that night they go to dinner, and the only time Sienna seems happy is when she's not with Shep, is the truth. Now, Madison and Taylor are kind of rude. I have to be honest. I love Madison, but she's coming off a little bit mean girly this season, and they seem like drunk mean girls, and they're kind of making fun of Shep and they're laughing at him. And I don't know. I kind of feel bad. I don't love their energy this season. They're making fun, they're laughing, they're like kind of making jokes about it. And meanwhile, Molly the entire time is like, I would date Shep. I feel like I can be with Shep. Shep, are you there? Shep, what about me? And that's giving thirsty too. It's kind of weird. Now, Craig is the only one that is trying to kind of stand by. It's the only one that's kind of trying to stand by Shep, but he's also really struggling with it too. He's like, man, the next morning when they wake up, later that night, she's like, I have a stomach ache. I'm going home. She doesn't even kiss him on the lips. And Craig is like, man, I really want to be there for you, but I have to be honest with you. She ain't into you. And he's saying that with, she ain't into you. She ain't in, Sienna ain't into you. Like, you got to move it on. The only problem with Craig, and I bless him, but the only problem with Craig is like he was seeing this so well in Shep, but not in his own relationship. So it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. So they unfortunately are going through this, this experience with Shep, who's like blinded. He is blinded by it. He's like, well, no, I think she's into me. I think she's just not seeing it, but she'll get there. She's a little tired. She has stomach ache. She'll get there. We have something magical, guys. Magical. It's so sad. Then he's like, so you guys are going to go to the fish fry place, and I think Sienna's going to join you while I go snorkeling. They're like, wait, what? We don't want to go to the fish fry place with Sienna. She's with you. If you're not there, she shouldn't be there. And he's like, no, but she wants to go. They're like, no. Thank God she decides not to go. He's in the worst mood all day. He's all depressed. Molly's like, Shep, what about me? I mean, it's weird. That's a whole weird scene. And then Craig and they all go to the fish fry place. And then Craig goes out with Madison to the water. And he's like, Austin hates me. Why does Austin hate me? And I think that that's going to lead to something bigger next week when Austin and, Craig have a conversation and finally, probably blow up in some way. But I saw the preview for next week and Shep is spiraling. He's not okay. He fell hard for Sienna. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like this fantasy of living in the Bahamas with this like beautiful young girl, but she does not like him. And then apparently this week, she's been on TikTok every day. She's been showing up like nonstop, showing these text messages between her and Whitney, how Whitney was on Raya connecting with her way before she even met with Shep. She's impossible for me to watch. She is long-winded. She speaks like it's very hard. I can't. There's certain things that I just can't tolerate, and that's her at this moment. You know what I mean? That's her at this moment. So, lastly, I haven't watched Traders last night, so I will watch that. I'm not going to talk about that. And I'm finally so close to catching up with Love is Blind. And then tonight, there's new episodes out, right? New episodes on Love is Blind tonight. And I'm kind of getting into it. Like, I'm finally kind of getting into the new season. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else to report on. If there is, I will be around. I will be showing my stuff on Instagram stories, and we will talk about it all. Thank you so much for your support this week. It has been a wild, wild roller coaster week, as always. Ashley's wondering, do I cover or watch The Mormon Wives? I do, even though it was a struggle for me. I found myself like struggling, but I hope this next season will be better. Don't worry. Should we watch Love is Blind, Emily? I love Love is Blind, but season 8 has been very, very challenging. They Call Me Mama says, I love you, Donna, watching from the beginning, but wanted to tell you how awesome you are. They call me mama. I hope I don't ruin your sanctity of motherhood. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I I really appreciate you guys. Truly. It's such a crazy time in life. So many roller coasters. It's like up, down. Like we're all just like trying to keep alive. Do you want to talk about it? That's a good one. You're so sweet. Thank you guys. Yeah, stick around. We'll make it through all these tough times. Don't worry. As long as we're together. See you guys next week. Love you. Bye.